Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Fyreslayers, and in particular, we're going to take a look at the Vanguard box set for them, and how we can use this particular box set to start an army for the latest season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar in Andtor. Now this season does focus on wizards, and the Fyreslayers don't have any wizards, but they do have some great magical defensive abilities and items on a bunch of various different models, so that's what we're going to focus on talking about a lot in this video today. Now, we're going to go through the contents of this box set like normal, talk a little bit about all the units that come inside it, before having a look at some other units we can use to expand upon this initial purchase. We'll then finally finish off the video, as always, with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for getting your own Fyreslayers on the table and getting an army started off them, if that is the case, in the realm of Andtor. Now, with this, we get a Battlesmith. The Battlesmith is a really solid hero to lead your Fyreslayers, 5 wounds and a 4+ save. Now, you've got the Icon of Grimnir, which friendly Fyreslayers unit whole within 12 inch will have a ward of 6+, and in addition, once per battle in your hero phase, you can pick one friendly unit on the battlefield with this ability to plant its icon. If you do so until the start of your next hero phase, friendly Fyreslayer units whole within 12 inch will have a ward of 5+ instead of 6. Bard of the Lodge as well means if this unit ever issues the rally command to a friendly Fyreslayers unit, you can return a slain model to that unit that receives a command point for each 4+ rather than 6+. Now joining this, we then have 20 Volkite Berserkers. These are our battle standard sort of battle line infantry. Now we do have 2 options we can build here, and these can be 2 units of 10 if need be, or 1 unit of 20, whichever you prefer. Now, Volkite Berserkers with bladed sling shields have a 4+ save and 2 wounds each. The Firesteel Warpick or Firesteel Handaxe is the option for the 2 weapons here. You will get a bit of range on the Warpick, but you will be a 3 and 4 to wound rather than the 3 and 3, which is the Firesteel Handaxe. Musicians in the unit will give you +1 to your charge rolls. Meanwhile, you've got the Berserk Fury, where once per battle at the start of the combat phase, you can effectively give this unit fight on death. And the Bladed Sling Shields mean after this unit makes a charge, you can pick an enemy unit within an inch and roll a dice for each model in this unit. For each 6, the enemy unit will suffer a mortal wound. Now the other option is the Fyreslayers with the Volkite Berserkers wielding the dual Firesteel Handaxes. These models will have a 5+ save and 2 wounds each, and they'll get 2 attacks at 3s and 3s, no rend, damage 1. Berserk Fury is exactly the same, but they have Whirlwind of Destruction instead of the Bladed Sling Shield rule. This allows them to add 1 to the attack's characteristic on a turn in which they charge. Now lastly, we have a dual kit inside the box set, and this can be either Hearthguard Berserkers or Auric Hearthguard. Both these units are available to become battle line with particular generals and different options available to them, but let's start with the Hearthguard Berserkers. A really solid unit, 5+ save and 2 wounds. They've got 2 different weapon options they can take. Berserker Broadaxes are 2 attacks each at 3s and 3s to hit and wound with rend of -1, damage 2. Meanwhile, the Flamestrike Poleaxe has a similar profile but no rend and only damage 1. But it will have the Smoldering Brazes rule. For each attacking hit roll of a 6 in melee, they'll cause 2 wounds on the target in addition to any other damage, and these will be mortal wounds as well. Duty unto Death means this unit will have a ward of 4+ if it's whole within 9 inch of any friendly Fyreslayer hero. Now the other option to build from this kit are Auric Hearthguard, a ranged unit we have access to. Their Magma Pikes have 2 attacks each at 4s and 3s, rend 1, damage 1, and the Molten Rock Bolts is their special ability, where if the unmodified hit roll for a shooting attack made with a Magma Pike is 6, you can subtract 1 from the target unit's move characteristic until the end of your opponent's next turn. However, this ability can't be used to reduce the target's move characteristic below half of its number. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to go next for the Fyreslayers? Now, another model that can carry an artifact of power that definitely will be some help to us is the different priest options we have available to us with the Fyreslayers. The one I want to talk about is going to be the Auric Rune Master. Now, straight up, the first good thing about this priest is it gets access to all the Fyreslayer prayers in addition to any other it knows, so this means you can select one of the generic universal prayers and then still get all of the Fyreslayer ones on top of that, which is really cool. Wise Council means at the start of your hero phase, if your general is within 3 inches of any Auric Rune Masters, you can receive a command point. This would mean if this model is your general and is within 3 inches of itself, which it always would be, you can receive that command point still on the hero. And then Volcano's Call allows you to cast a prayer with an answer call of 3 and a range of 18. As the chanter is carrying a runic iron, you can reroll the chanting roll. If answered, you pick one terrain feature wholly within range and visible to the chanter. You roll a dice for each model within 1 inch, and for each 6, the unit will suffer a mortal wounds. In addition, until your next hero phase, that terrain piece will block visibility in the same manner as a wildwood. Now, we then have a couple of interesting options. For me, the Doomseeker and the Grimwrath Berserker really do provide a couple of interesting unit options for you, especially in the Wizard Hunters of Andtor. I think they're a great little hero to put into that to get a benefit from all those bonus attacks. The Doomseeker also serves as being relatively cheap, allowing you to field quite a few heroes at a nice little cheap cost. And so you're going to have the Oathbound, where at the start of the first battle round you pick an enemy unit that you'll swear to destroy, and at the end of the combat phase, if this unit's within 3 inches of that unit as for no more than once, you can fight again. In addition, in the combat phase, if this unit is destroyed within 3 inches of the unit was sworn to destroy, you can fight before it dies. Runic Power allows you to add 1 damage to your weapons and 1 to your wound is allocated to, or add 2 to the damage characteristic of the melee weapons if 2 or more wounds are allocated to you. Or if the Oathbound ability has allowed this unit to fight before being removed from play. So a really nice little way to get some extra attacks and potentially take out quite a dangerous wizard on the table. Now we then have the Grimwrath Berserker, a more expensive option of the Doomseeker. You are going to have your Firestorm Great Axe in there with 4 attacks, 3s and 3s to hit and wound, round -2 damage to. Battle Fury at the end of the combat phase, if this unit's within 3 inches of an enemy unit on a 2+, it can just fight again. And Dead but not defeated in the combat phase, if this unit is destroyed, it can fight before it is removed from play. Lastly, the Fyreslayers, while they don't have any spells, they do have their Magmic Invocations, which are sort of, I guess, endless prayers, as you can put them. You got the Runic Firewall, which is really nice for giving out some free ward saves, and then the Molten Infernoth and Zaragon Flamespitter are some really great ways to deal some mortal wounds to your opponent. And so here we have our sample army list of the Fyreslayers, 1,000 points on the nose. Now we've gone for the Lodge Greyford in here. First of all, this adds 1 to the wounds characteristic of friendly Greyford heroes that do not have a mount. So all of our heroes here will be gaining an extra wound, and we can pick 2 additional artifacts of power and give them to 2 Greyford heroes in your army that do not have a mount. So this is really cool, it means we can get a bunch of extra artifacts on the rest of our force. Now, first of all, leading our force, we have the Auric Rune Master, who will be our general. We've gone with the Master Priest, which is his nice command trait. Once per battle, at the start of your hero phase, if this general is on the battlefield, you can activate 1 Urgold rune that's already been activated, rather than instead activating one that has not yet been activated. So really cool to give you a little bit of extra versatility in your use of the Urgold runes. But then we're also going for the artifact of the Ash Cloud rune, where once per battle at the start of the enemy hero phase, you can say the bearer will cool down a column of soot, and if you do so until the end of the phase, units wholly within 12 inches of the bearer are not visible to enemy units attempting to cast the spell. Really good protection when you need it. We then have our Battlesmith as well, who's taken the Nalcidian icon. This artifact of power can only be given to a Battlesmith, and each time a friendly Fyreslayers unit wholly within 12 inches of the bearer is affected by a spell or the abilities of an endless spell, you can roll a dice on a 4+, ignore those effects. Lastly, we have our Doomseeker. He is relatively cheap, and he's also going to go in our Wizard Finders of Andtor battalion, which we'll talk about in a sec. The Demon Slayer is the artifact we've gone here, where we can pick one of the melee weapons, and ward rolls that cannot be made for wounds and mortal wounds caused by this weapon. Battle line wise, we have our 2 units of Volkart Berserkers, one with Bladed Sling Shields, one with Firesteel Hand Axes, the ones with Firesteel Hand Axes, and indeed our Hearthguard Berserkers, which have been reinforced once with Broad Axes, are going to be in our Wizard Finders of Andtor. Now, what the Wizard Finders of Andtor Battalion gives us is some really good power to potentially try and take out our opponent's wizards. We can include up to 2 troops, a hero and a monster, but in this one we've only gone for the 2 troops and hero. One of those troops and the hero are the compulsory options. Now, each time a unit in this battalion is picked to fight, you can say it will go on a wizard hunt. If you do so, you pick one of the melee weapon profiles on said unit's war scroll. Until the end of that phase, you add one to the attacks of that weapon, but all attacks of that unit must target the enemy wizard nearby. For me, this is a really fun little army. It definitely is an army that is not playing into the magic, but rather trying to protect itself and go and kill the magic users on the table, as any good Dawi should. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there, like Baron of Dice, Gap Games or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description. And as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Soren, Kenny Lowell, Alder and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold and Andy C. And our YouTube members: Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.